if you're considering relocation to Panama, go ahead and hit the favorites button right now. You're going to want to save this video because I'm going to save you a lot of time and probably a lot of money as well. So one of the biggest questions people have when they're relocating to Panama is, where do I live? So I'm going to give you some different topics, different criteria, and you prioritize these however you need, okay? The first thing I'm going to mention is climate. You're either going to have hot, which is going to be sea level. So here in San Carlos District, I'm at sea level, Pacific Ocean right here behind me. It's going to range 85 to 95 degrees every day of the year. Sometimes it gets a little less than that, but not often. If you want the 60s and 70s, you got to go up in altitude. You're going to look at El Valle de Anton, for example, Boquete, Volcan. You're going to get more spring-like temperatures up there. The second thing I'm going to mention is infrastructure. So if you work remotely, for example, you've got to have reliable internet, electricity, those kind of things. You're probably going to focus on Panama City area first. Doesn't mean you can't get it out into these areas, but it's less reliable. Okay, so Panama City, maybe David. If you live out in these areas, you might consider Starlink. I've got a big generator here behind me, so I don't lose time if I need to be, working online. All right, but infrastructure, Panama City. Number 3. This is a big one. It probably is number 1 for a lot of people over the age of 65 is healthcare. So you need to have quick access to reliable healthcare. You're going to be in and around Panama City. Anything that happens in the outlying areas, in the interior, if something major happens, you're coming back to the city anyways. All right? So if you need frequent healthcare for diabetes, oncology, whatever it may be, you probably need to focus and prioritize that as number 1 and be in the city area. All right. Now, if you are a city person or a more rural person, that is a pretty big topic. So I'm more of a rural person. I'm out here and once again, Costa Esmeralda, San Carlos District. It's quiet. There's no traffic. I don't hear any cars whatsoever. There's no people around right now. Every once in a while you hear a dog bark. The parakeets are popping off. That's what I like. But if you like the hustle and bustle, Panama City, maybe David, okay? A lot of activity. The malls are close, the multitude of restaurants, entertainment. If that's your focus, Panama City. Now, I keep saying Panama City for all these things, but you can be outside of Panama City 15 minutes and be in a green area and still be close enough to the city where it's not an inconvenience. All right? Now, those are 3 of the big ones. Cost of living you could find anywhere in Panama. You can find, mid-range, low-range, high-range in Panama City. Same thing out in the outlying interior or rural areas. So it's really not a huge topic or criteria. Now, the last thing I'm going to tell you is this. If you were moving to the United States, all right, and you said, that's the best way for me to figure out what the United States is, would you get on a bus for 7 days and tour the United States? No. What you would do is you would take the criteria that I just mentioned and research, all right? You start broad and then you dial it down till you get to about that big, and then you come to Panama and you visit that area based on the climate, based on healthcare, based on infrastructure, maybe based on cost of living, maybe based on climate. Dial it in, all right? And if you feel more comfortable hiring a private driver for a day or 2, do that. But getting on a relocation tour bus and popping to things that are probably not realistic as far as the daily living here in Panama, I just can't recommend it. All right, you've got to take some initiative to do your research first before you arrive. You can ask questions, but do your research first. It's going to save you a considerable amount of time going all over Panama. And Panama's not big, but you're not going to see much in a week. All right, it's going to save you the number of trips that you make here. It's going to save you money. All right. If you got questions, I'd be more than happy to answer. There are people on here right now that can answer the questions just as well as I can about what it's like to live in the beach communities, what it's like to live in the city, what it's like to live in Boquete, what it's like to live in the green areas in Clayton or Panama Pacifico. So I hope that helps. Refer back to this as much as you need, but I'm telling you, I just saved you time and money.